Deborah Howlett from New Jersey Policy Perspective. You just testified on the Senate bill to raise the minimum wage to $8.50 an hour. Why do we need to increase the minimum wage?
Well, look, if a full-time worker making minimum wage makes $15,080 a year. If you're a family of three, a single mother with two kids, that is substantially below the federal poverty line. Even for single parents, a single person, it's right at the federal poverty line. And in a state like New Jersey, where the cost of living is so high, it's inadequate. And $8.50 would be a good step in the direction. Had the minimum wage kept pace with inflation since it was first instituted in the 60s in New Jersey, it would now be up at $9.50 or $10 an hour. But $8.50 is a good step, and the idea of indexing it to inflation so that it increases annually, so that we don't have to go through this process every couple of years, I think is a real boon to the bill.
How do you respond to those who say that increasing the minimum wage will drive business out of New Jersey?
Well, one of the, I think, clear things is that there have been study after study that have shown that increasing the minimum wage does not affect hiring. It does not cause people to leave the state. What people want is a competent workforce, well-educated workforce, and if you're looking to hire quality employees in New Jersey, you need to be competitive and pay a competitive wage. I think the companies that do best pay us an adequate wage, even if it's at the low end, and they provide decent insurance for families and a way for their employees to thrive in the state.
Are there any other benefits to the state other than those who are receiving those wages?
Well, you know, I think the thing about the minimum wage is, yes, it's a great tool for lifting people up out of near poverty level wages, but it also helps all of us. There was a study by the Federal Reserve Bank in Chicago that showed for every dollar increase in the minimum wage, it produced $2,800 in spending. And that demand will fuel the economy in New Jersey, and could, if you look at the broadest view, put as much as $1.5 billion a year back into New Jersey's economy. And increasing that demand is what will spur New Jersey's economy, reduce unemployment, and get us back to where we were before the recession.
Will raising the minimum wage actually reduce some of the other assistance that people might need from the state?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there are cost savings to the state in terms of whether a worker can qualify for SNAP, for food stamps, for instance, or whether they qualify for subsidized health care through New Jersey Family Care Program. I think in a lot of ways this will help save the state money. You know, there's just no way to describe this except as a win-win situation for everybody. It seems like a no-brainer to us that the legislature should increase the minimum wage and index it to inflation.
Okay. During your testimony, Senator Adiego questioned the timing of this because we are still in a recession. How do you respond to that?
Well, I've never heard the business side say there's a good time to raise wages. I think if you're an employer, you want to get labor for as cheaply as you can. But I also think good employers recognize that good jobs pay an adequate wage. And if you can pay $7.25 an hour and get good employees, more power to you. But I think it requires more in New Jersey to find people to do that work and to pay them adequately. They should be adequately compensated, and good employers with good jobs recognize it.
Deborah Howlett, thank you very much.